it's a story time. I know I've never done one of these before, but I just thought I'd bring you this one. This was a story about when me and my cousins, we went down to Wexford we go down every summer, maybe 2 or 3 weeks we go down for. This was probably the last time. Well, basically on the camp there was this part of it, and it was really like weird. It was just like somewhere we didn't want to be. It was like, well, all of us at the top college the other side. It was like where all the old people lived, and my cousin was there. One of my friends out of my class was there, and this weird girl that we were friends with. And then we started going out like to this weirder part, like we've never explored it. There's 4 parts of the camp. It was maybe really big. Don't know how many acres, but yeah. There was the part that we lived in, which was like right beside the entrance. It was like one of the first caravans that you'd see on the entrance. And we had these really weird steps going up to it. Like a lot of people just had stones going up to theirs, but my auntie like built a full-on. My auntie and my uncle, like, they built a full-on porch on it. And like goes around to the back and all that, and we had a nice back garden with a swimming pool, like dug in the ground. We still have them a while. Well, we don't really have it anymore, but I don't know what's going on with it. But yeah, so we were like messing around. This was a couple of years ago. My friend went in for his dinner, so me and my friend, we went to knock for this girl that we were friends with. She wasn't in, so we started exploring down like the more weirder paths that like none of us is really going around. And at the time, like these go-karts, like if anyone remembers those go-karts, like the ones where you lie down on them and wheel them around, like them ones. Yeah, I had bought one of them. I'd bring down my bike, my go-kart, and my helicopter thing. And I can't remember, I brought down something else. It was something electric. It was like an electric car or something. It was actually big and it was fast. But yeah, we were all driving around on that, and it was like the electric car thing was like 4 seaters. It was like really. I still have it somewhere up in my attic, and it's like I can still drive it now. Like it was a big car. But sorry, I keep crashing. But basically, yeah. So we were driving that around the mobile site, and we were all having fun, messing around, trying to pull skids in it with the handbrake thing. My cousin ended up saying, "Why don't we go down to that place? Like, if that guy's down there, why don't we go down to because like it was like maybe a 5-10 minute walk. We were all small, so it felt like an hour walk for us. And it was so creepy going down there because all the old people would stare out at us. But when we eventually got down there, like my legs were so sore. My friend started pedaling the whole thing for the rest of the way. There was this old man. He lived. We've been down there a couple of times. We weren't too sure where to go, so we went down near the forest because there's a forest there, but it's weird forest. Like it's all bushes, thorns, nettles, and all that. And we were in them. So basically, when we were in them, we were just, going around exploring. We came out of the woods. There's this man looking at us. He's like really weird. He's like staring at us the whole time. Like the way the mobile was, like you'd have the front thing, like where like you open your blinds and everyone can see in. Yeah, there's that. I'm acting like I'm gonna get a response off you guys, but yeah, we went down to that. And when we got down there, it was kind of weird because he was just had his shutters open and he was no shirt on and he just had underpants on. Like, if you guys have ever seen Goldbergs, he was wearing like Murray's underpants. And we were like, okay. So we all just looked away and started speeding away in the go-kart. It was a 4-seater one. Like, it was just me and my cousin in it. My cousin was sitting in the back. He likes sitting in the back, I don't know why. And then after like half an hour or 40 minutes, my friend comes out, my other friend comes out, and there's this kid following him. He's like, can my little brother come out? And can my little brother come out? And he's like, yeah, sure, I don't care. So there's end of 4 of us, me, my cousin, I'm not gonna say any names. Me, my cousin, I'm not gonna put my friend's name as a real name or his little brother's name. Me, my cousin John, and it's Ruth. So me and my cousin John and Ruth were just strolling around, had juice boxes, had them fake tattoos in our arms. We were all little at the time. We were like, this was years ago. And this is when like we thought we were the bombs going around. We like owned the mobile site. We were so cool in it. And then like my friend's little brother wanted to go home, so we dropped him home. And then we started like we didn't want to go to that weird place with his little brother. Most likely he would freak out. Oh, that was such a fail. Most likely he would freak out. And well, we dropped him home and we went down to this like kid's house, and they had like a carpet put in, like, you know, like porta potties. You had like carpet put in like a shed that was shaped like a porta potty, but except it was wooden, and they had like satanic pictures all over the wall, like of Satan, like a red man, and it said Satan under it. And there was another one. It was like so I had like three lines. One was heaven, and there was all demons in it. The second one was earth, and there was all demons over in it, and there was like a hole going up through the side. And these kids were fairly a bit younger than us at the time. They were maybe 2 years, 3 years younger than us. And we were like, how do you know all this? And they were like, our dad loves it. And we were like, okay. And his dad comes out because his dad was like freaking out because he's like, you're not supposed to be showing people my drawings, because like it's like the people getting sacrificed and all like that. And the weird thing about these kids was they had scars all over them. Like one of them had a scar on his head, the other had like a scar on his leg. But yeah, basically that was all happening. We were freaking out. We were like, these kids getting cut by their dad. So we're like, we're just gonna go. So then 5 minutes later, and we're like pulling out of his like garden in our little like go-kart, because like we're gonna go, and he was like, don't go. 5 minutes later, we're rolling around the thing. We just got our fresh new juice boxes with apple. And next thing we know, we hear these kids screaming, and they were all running after us. Like one of them had like a pure like garden hose tip wrench thing. I remember, I'll never forget, they cornered my friend up. We ditched the go-kart in my friend's house. Like we just shoved it in over his porch garden thing, like, and we just start running. And I remember, I'll never forget it, running up that way and looking back and just seeing my friend get the crap beat out of him. Like it was like they hit him, like full on hit him, and he nearly like went down. I was so horrific though that day, and it was like I ran back and was like, come on John. So I picked them up and they cornered us in the corner, and I was trying to like, I done some really good persuasion because they were all like 7 at the time, and like I'm 12 now, so this was like 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, 5 years ago. And yeah, they were all like chasing us. They were all like 4 and 5 year olds. Well, like not a lot of them were 4 and 5. It was mostly the age group looked like about 5 or 6. The oldest one there was 8. He was like a fair bit older than us. He looked about 8 at the time. We were all freaking out. He was holding like a gnome, like this little statue thing, and we were all like freaking out. We thought he was going to start hitting us and all with it, and we were like, fuck off. And I'll never forget, he hit my friend really hard in the leg, and one of them had like a burner thing, like, you know, the thing, like a thing where you burn cows with, and we were like, where the hell did he get that from? And like he kept sticking it in mud and trying to burn my friend and my cousin and me. Like we were all freaking out because we were like, I don't want to get fucking burned. Like some of them weren't even using any weapons. Most of them were using their fists, but some of them had weapons and they were actually hitting us with them. So when we realized that these kids aren't messing around, at the time I started doing MMA, so I was doing MMA for about 4 or 5 months then, and I remember putting one of them into, like, I forget the name of it, it's like an obligath, or like I tried to put one in a rear naked choke, and he was like tapping like crazy, so I just let him go. I have to remember the name of this one. It's a guillotine or something. I remember I was practicing it on like my 14th day of MMA. I never forget it. It's like where you get their arm going over your leg. Like your leg is, your top half of your leg is sitting on their arm, and you have your arm, it's like you're about to break their arm. I don't know, like it was self-defense, because they were trying to swing at us, like we were like, what if these kids actually hit us? And then we realized that they weren't messing around. Like, we thought this was a game for like 4 or 5 hours of this. And like, I don't know if I told you guys this, but our aunties were out, so there was no, like, we were like stuck outside. Like, well, we weren't stuck outside, we could always go back in, but there was no way of running up the whole mobile site, and like having about 15 kids behind us trying to chase us as well. So we were like, it's a death situation. So my friend just started swinging his arms around. My other cousin like ran. I can't remember, but the next day, like 15 minutes later, I caught up to him. He was nearly home, like, because we got lost as well. Like, it's a big mobile site, we kept getting lost. But I'll never forget what happened. The old man comes out of his mobile site and starts chasing us all. So there was this big field in the middle of it. We all ran to the field and hid in the field. On the, like when you go in the field, you run through the field, and then there's like, when you run through the field, it's basically like where they run through the shops and end up getting caught by like an adult, and like you're not allowed back there. So what we done was there was a skip. So I think when we got to the skip, we like took some stuff out and like tried to build a barrier. And like 4 of the kids were with us, like, cause then like back then, like, well, like then we got a team, because this old man was chasing us, trying to grab one of us, trying to grab us, and like, as well, after that he didn't end up grabbing us. Nothing really happened. I'm telling 2 or 3 stories here, guys, so yeah, he didn't end up grabbing us. We when we got to the back of the field, we had to hop a fence, like this tiny little fence, probably about the size of this motorbike's handles. Like, we just like jumped over it and just hopped it easily, like put our foot over. I was wearing tracksuit bottoms, my friend was wearing jeans. I felt so bad for him, like he was trying to run in his jeans. Like, that's not easy to do parkour in jeans. So like, it was really this high, like we just put our foot in one thing and climbed up and then hopped it. And this old man was like trying to like open the gate, but my friend stepped slapping him, and he grabbed my friend's hand, and I'll never forget what my cousin did. He bit his finger. Not bit his finger, but he used something, he like threw something on his finger that I cut him. And this was around Halloween, so we were, not Halloween, this was start of summer. And like, we were all hyped for Halloween, because we were going back on Halloween, and I'll never forget what happened on Halloween. Halloween was one of the scariest ones as well, and funniest. But yeah, guys, this is my birthday on Wednesday as well. I'm just hyped for this as well. Probably gonna be uploading a birthday video, like of what I get, how much money I get, and if I get any presents, or what I'll get out of my birthday money. But yeah, guys, didn't really end up catching us. He got his handcuff for chasing little kids. I think his mobile got taken out of the site. Like, it wasn't where people lived, obviously. Like, we couldn't live there. It's a site it's opened up for all the holidays during summer. But there was this game we always played. It's called, like, we always played chasing with some of the older kids, like teenagers, like First they were like teenagers. And it was so fun because we weren't allowed to leave this area because like it'd be too hard. It was like I can go see Jason, and there was teams, and it was like me, one of the teenager boys, and my cousin versus my friend, my cousin's sister, and one of the other teenager boys. So it was a 3v3, and I remember he was helping us up onto his mobile roof, because if you get up on his mobile roof behind it, there's like this like fenced off area, but it's really hard to get back out of it. And at the time my cousin wasn't that, like, he couldn't really like jump over obstacles, or like, well, he could, but like he needed a bit more help and he needed a bit more time. As they found out where we were going, we heard them up on the roof, so my cousin's like, here, come over here. So there was like this big tree trunk, and we hid in it like. It was the funniest thing ever. Like, my cousin was like standing like a stick, and he just goes, they're walking, like they hop down and all. We're like, do we want to make a run for it? So we ended up making the run for it. But if one of us gets caught, we go automatically on the enemy team. We were hopping the gate. It's easier to hop. I found it easy to hop because you just had to put your friends. Just to climb up onto the window, just grab the window and then climb up onto it. Which I did climb up onto it, I got up safely. So the teenager boy, we're running, we look at each other and we're like, where's Will? Where's Bill? Where's Will? Where's Will? Where's Bill? Where's Bill? Where's Bill? Where's Bill? Where's Bill? And we're like, oh, shit, Bill's gone. Like, I'm not saying my cousin's real name. So we're like, where's Dan? Where's Dan? Where's Dan? Where's Dan? Bill, sorry, Bill. We're like, where's Bill? And I realized Bill wasn't with us, and my cousin. We kind of got scared. So we told him our plans. But what we done is we went up to his thing, because he had like this, he's something like my go-kart, my petrol thing. But his was a lot more faster. So we hit up and got that and drove to the end of where we were let out of, and they were trying to chase us, so we drove it back up to his house, because they heard it, obviously. It's like a full-on moped. It was a 4-wheeler. It was a quad basically, but it had like a 4-seater. It was like, did you ever see Roman Atwood's like truck thing? Yeah, something like that. I had something like that as well. But this is the last story I'll tell you guys, and then if you like these stories, just, if I get a lot of views on it, then I'll do another one, obviously. If I don't, then I won't. But yeah, so when we were doing this was just a fun game. There was this one couple that they didn't mind us running through, but you had that like hop there. It was a fence now, it was high. Really hard to hop. It was like one of them fences where they had the fence from the inside, so like they had all the planks gone across where you could put your feet on and climb up. We had that on the other side, so we were climbing up that easily and hopping over, and then their garden was an open space on a deck, and we were always running through there, and there'd always be 2 people. So I remember one day one of the teenager boys like climbed up on the roof instead of going down and jumped on the other side and actually got away. It was really funny. I never know why. I was always the stealthiest, and I always won them games. Like, everyone wanted to be with me. I'm not putting myself as the hero here, but like, I was always winning them games. They were really fun. I think my auntie sold them over on now for something else, but you know, there's more time to stay at home and spend time with my friends, go out. Sometimes when me and my friends, we go to Tesco's and we build toilet paper forts. It's really fun. One day we actually stayed in the toilet paper fort for about 15-20 minutes. Like, building them for 15 and 20 minutes. And we tried this thing on like Sean Duras and Tanner Fox's channel. Like, we tried to build a toilet paper like village, and we were going good till this old granny came by, and she was like trying to buy some toilet paper, and she goes and get the manager of the store, and she's like, I'm sorry, but there's like a wall blockage of toilet paper. Where are I going? So one by one she started taking the toilet paper down. she sees my friend trying to build it back up. Like when she's taking it down, my friend grabbed one from like our like top landing ceiling thing. Grab one. And she's like, I have to get the manager. And it was like, oh, we were like scared that she was actually gonna get it. She did get the manager, but we were like shitting ourselves because we were gonna get kicked out, and I don't want to get kicked out of Tesco's because Tesco's is the bomb. Tesco's where I get my games from because no, I don't get my games from Tesco's. I get my games from Dunnes. Okay, but yeah, we were up in Tesco's, and I'll never forget it. We had to run through the clothing aisle, and like my friend hid in a dress. It was the funniest thing ever. He like he put his arms up through the dress and like stood in the dress and like stood on the little like metal pole. Yoga my bob. So guys, I think that's it for this video. I told you 3 stories. 2 large ones, well 1 large one, and then 1 small one, and then another small one, and then if this gets over 20 views, then I'll do another part on it. I'll do a part 2 story time, which will be a bit longer. Right, so guys, I'm out. I'll see you tomorrow, mother.